A little over 3 years ago, I built a patio in my backyard, and this year, I started noticing bits of moss and tiny plants sprouting up from some of the grout lines during part of the year. After doing a 3-year retrospective on the patio, I received some comments from viewers saying that they've been able to slow down or even stop this from happening on their patios by sealing them. After doing a little bit of research, I decided that it would be worth the effort to seal my patio as well. Not only do I have a chance of limiting some of the moss and plant growth, but it also helps to beat up the water and help it slide down the slope of the patio, and helps to protect the patio stones from UV light damage, color loss, and will prevent pavers from taking in water that could expand and contract in the changing seasons. I actually like the natural way that the stones look, so the sealer that I'm going to be looking for is going to be one that does not create a high gloss look or a permanently wet look. The sealer that I settled on was this low gloss patio paver sealer from Masonry Defender. I found it on Amazon, which looks to be the main way the company is selling it at the time that I bought it, and stood out to me due to the user ratings it got. You're also going to want to figure out how much sealant you're going to need. In my case, my patio is 414 square feet, and 1 gallon of this sealant will cover between 75 and 150 square feet. So I decided to order a 2.5 gallon jug and an additional 1 gallon jug for a total of 3.5 gallons, with the hope that it would be enough to cover my patio. Before we can get to work on applying the sealant, we will want to make sure that we have thoroughly cleaned off the patio. The instructions on the bottle of sealant also call out that the patio must be fully clean. My sealant actually sells a cleaning product that it recommends to use prior to sealant. To do a cleaning, we will first need to remove any furniture that is on the patio. Then we can get to work. I didn't use a pressure washer, but just a standard hose with an adjustable nozzle. I also didn't use the recommended all-purpose masonry cleaner that is sold by the sealant company, but instead used 30 Seconds Cleaner, which is a product that I've used before with good results and was something that I already had laying around. The cleaning process is going to be very important because any stains or blemishes left on the patio now will be permanently sealed into the patio after we apply the sealant. So we really want to get this as clean as we can before sealing the patio. Okay, and this is the product that I'll be using. I'll be using this 30-second cleaner and I'll be pouring it into a sprayer. And it's actually a mixture, so I'm going to do half of the sprayer is going to be of the 30-second cleaner. And then I'll fill the other part up till it hits the gallon marker with water. I made a full video on the process of cleaning a patio without a pressure washer, so feel free to check it out for more detailed information. But the basics are as you'd expect. First, rinse off with a hose, then we spray on our cleaner, we work the cleaner in and brush the area, then rinse the area after the cleaner has sat for at least 15 minutes. Okay, so now I've cleaned off the entire patio. I need to let it dry, so I'm going to wait at least 24 hours before I spray on my sealant. So it's been 24 hours since I've let this dry, and there's still just a few wet spots across this patio. So that means I do not want to do my sealant just yet. I want to wait until this is fully dry, so I'm going to wait at least another day, but the weather forecast looks good. I might wait 2 additional days. The packaging of the product says to wait 2 to 3 days. So tomorrow will be officially day 2, but I may just push it out the full 3 days. Now would be a good time to look over your patio for any stains that may need more than just a standard cleaning. Using a wire brush can be a good tool for scraping away stubborn stains, but make sure that your brush is not so tough that it scrapes away any of your paver stones. You want to remove stains, not layers of your patio. Since I waited 3 years after I installed the patio to seal it, I actually had quite a bit of these types of stains to lift up with my soft wire brush. After our patio is fully clean and dry, we're ready to move on to sealing it. Make sure to clean your sprayer tank well before pouring in any of the sealant. This will also be your last chance to add any more joint sand in between your pavers. Make sure that there's nothing left on the surface of the patio and that all the sand is swept in between the pavers. Alright, and now I'm at the point where I'm ready to put my sealer into my sprayer. And I'm using Masonry Defender, and there's no mixing that needs to be done. I'm just going to open this up and pour this 1 gallon container into my sprayer. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is to know how much 1 gallon will spray on a patio. Now, according to the directions, this will cover between 75 and 150 square feet. Now my patio is just over 400 square feet, so that means I'm going to need at least 3 gallons to cover my whole area. So keep that in mind. Before sealing the whole patio, it might be worth testing a section or a separate paver just to make sure that when it does dry, it comes out to your liking. Okay, my test area is dry and I'm okay with the way it came out. I'm ready to do the whole patio like this. So to start, I'm not actually going to use the sprayer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of the material in this paint tray, and I'm actually going to paint the sides, so I'm not going to spray the wall here, which I don't want to cover material. I'm just going to go right up to the edge with the brush and really have control over where the material goes. After using a small brush to apply the sealant to the edge of the patio, we can then get out our sprayer and spray down a section. After we've sprayed down a section, we'll want to even out the sealant, either with a paint roller or with a soft bristle brush, like what I'm using here. And then we'll just repeat this process, one section at a time, until the entire patio has one layer of sealant dried on top of the surface. After we've applied a layer of sealant to the entire patio, we want to give it 2 hours to dry. Alright, so I put down one layer, it's all dried now, I've given it the time to dry. So now we need to add our final and second layer over it. It's going to be less material needed for the second layer than the first. So hopefully this goes a little bit quicker to put down the last layer and that I have enough material to do so. And we're going to apply our second layer just like we did our first layer, by first spraying on a layer and then getting a brush to even it out. I found that for my patio, I used 2.2 gallons of sealant doing my first layer, but my second layer took only 1.1 gallons, for a total of 3.3 gallons for 414 square feet. That works out to be 125 square feet per gallon, and that includes 2 layers per square foot. I actually had just enough sealant left over to do one layer on the bricks that I normally put underneath my fire pit. We'll now want to wait another 2 hours for our second layer to dry. And to give you an idea of how the sealant looks, here's the patio before I cleaned it. Here it is after it was cleaned but before any sealant was placed on it. And here it is after the sealant's second layer has dried. You can see that the difference is very minor. However, in the right light, the pavers can be seen to be a bit more shiny and reflective, but in most angles, they look the same as they did naturally. And after it's dried, we can put our patio furniture back on top of our patio. One of the things that I noticed about the patio after sealing it is that it was slightly slicker to walk on. I don't think it's going to be a slip hazard, but just in case you really like the gritty, grippy feel of natural stones, there is an additive that you can use in your sealant to make it grippier to your feet. I haven't had a rainy day yet since sealing the patio, but when testing with a garden hose, I definitely noticed that the water did stay beaded up above the patio now, and was not absorbing into the stones. Overall, I've been pleased with the process and the results so far, and hope that this helps extend the life of my patio. I hope this video helped you as well, and if so, consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you would also like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel.